I guess. Yeah. Oh, okay. Hi, Amanda. Good morning.
Good morning. Hi, Teresa.
Hi. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good today. I'm enjoying the weather, a little humid, but I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing great. Excellent. I've been up early already, busy with getting I'm changing all the slides for our, for the training. So I'm excited. I love doing that. I'm busy doing that. And I just want to thank you so much for, really offering to do the pendulation and to help us work through this so that all of us can have a better understanding of what does it mean to pendulate and to titrate and so on.
I'm
So
definitely grateful, and it's an honor. Part of my gifts is to share wherever possible, which includes healing and any of that, right? So I'm completely open and vulnerable to allow that process and share that.
yeah, that's wonderful. So you have your grounding tools there. I just took out my shaker. I don't know why, but the shaker said the shaker wanted to be with you today. And I have my sacred feather, my beautiful feather that was dressed by you and Lorraine.
Mm.
You have your there already smudged. So go ahead. And I've got all my sacred items here, as you can see on my bundle.
Yeah, I just like having the women's sage burning a little bit, especially when I'm bringing that female energy in. So I'm good.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right. So I know it's we on Zoom, and if you were sitting in my healing space here, I would have asked you about the distance and if it was good enough for you, and I would have oriented you to the environment, and I would ask you all those questions, how comfortable you are. And I know you're at the Friendship Center in your office, so I gather you're feeling pretty comfortable and okay. Do you want to tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so interesting enough, I wasn't able to set up in my space, right? And I'm actually in my coworker's space, which is kind of awesome because it's bringing that energy with me too. And she's like a mother to me, right? So it's kind of cool how things work out. I'm feeling really comfortable and good with where I'm at and anything that could come out, right?
That's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. All right, so I thought we'll just, I know you said you're feeling pretty grounded today, but I thought just for myself I like to just do a little tuning.
Mm-hmm.
So how about we do the 7-4-8, and we'll just do it for about 5 breaths. I'll do the 3 counts, and then the other last 2 we'll do on our own. So I get the opportunity to do it as well, so we can nicely ground ourselves. So inhale is 7, hold is for 4, and then exhale for 8. And I like to exhale like, because it really taps right into the parasympathetic nervous system, and it calms the body down much faster. Okay, so you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Inhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's do 2 on our own. That's lovely.
Mhm.
How are you feeling?
Good. I'm like really relaxed at the moment.
It's amazing how that works, right? Right from sympathetic, even if we're not there, but back into parasympathetic in relaxation mode. It's really beautiful. It's one of the teachings that were brought from the healers from the East to us.
Mm.
All right. So, dear Amanda, where would you like to venture today?
I'm not sure. I would really like you to pick for me, please.
Okay. Well, I know that, in the last 2 weeks, and if you don't mind, I'm thinking of just going back that day when we were checking out at our yoga session. And, you came back, and we usually check out to say how you're doing and so on. And I remember you looked devastated and said, oh my goodness, this was like the most difficult yoga session that I ever had to do, anything that I could possibly have think of and that. But I was listening to your words, but I was just listening and seeing more how activated you were, and how sad you were that you were almost right there in a trauma, response mode. And everyone there, all of us just started holding space for you and that. And I'm just wondering, because we never really had an opportunity. I just had snapshots in terms of what went on. I'm wondering if you feel up to it to go back there and maybe see if you want to revisit and maybe work through some of that. And maybe you
Yeah.
already have.
Yeah. Let me grab the Kleenex though, because I'm gonna need it. Okay. Yeah, so do you just want me to kind of explain like the process of what I went through during yoga?
Yeah, most important is as you go through it and I notice any shifts and changes, I want you to, as you do it, to not to just go cognitive, but to go in your body, because I want you to feel what happened here, or now that you are going to revisit that, what it feels like for you in your embodiment. That's the key. That's the somatic stuff. Okay.
So automatically it's sadness, right? Because when you brought up the yoga session, it's like I was already back there, and that's okay. Like I'm very grateful that I can look at that, even though it is sad. That was during a time where I was withholding my truth from someone I really, really loved, and he's an amazing man, and we were together for a year and a half. And he was that first relationship since my partner passed away. So, I was always kind of unable to fully connect with him because, safety for me today is a complete embodiment and, 4 quadrant process, which includes the spiritual connection. And so I don't know if I was just unable to spiritually connect or we just were not meant to, right? So our whole relationship, I struggled with that. And So it was 4 different times that I stepped away from the relationship, and I always went back because there's nothing wrong with us as people. We're really great together. It's just every time I try really hard in the relationship, I would disconnect from myself.
Okay, what's going on for you right now, Amanda, in your body? And just be there. I'm here with you. Just take a moment. And don't hold back anything. Whatever needs to come, trust your body and allow.
It's immense sadness because
Yeah.
for so long, at least 27 years, I didn't know what it was like to be Amanda and connected with my spirit. And I had to fight really hard through, addiction and a car accident and so much stuff like the trauma and PTSD I went through. I had to fight really hard to connect with myself and to heal, then to choose life again. And by doing that,
It's okay. Take your time. That's right. Just allow. She knows what to do, Amanda. She knows what to do. She will help you through this. Let it out. Just let it out. Feel. Feel, my sister. There you go. Just be with it. I'm right here. I'm right here.
so the number one message I got is that once you make that connection to self, it can't go away again. And that
Right now,
yeah, the message that it just came to me through it is that once you make that connection with yourself in a good way, that can't go away, it can't be taken away.
can never be taken away, my dear. Trauma does that for us, and then it really touches on our sense of self. That part gets blocked. The whole notion of what happens in the brain, and not to get technical about it, but everything gets blocked, gets taken away. It's almost like it's not gone, but it's your body was your beautiful embodiment, and the part of your brain, the primitive part of your brain, perceptual part of your brain was just trying to help you, because it's too much. It was too much, losing your partner, 2 little babies, all of that happening all at once, car accident, horrible pain, and that, I mean, it's a gamut of trauma that you had to carry and that you had to endure and that you have to really, really work through. So your body came on and said, hold on a second, and stop some of that for you. But Amanda, what really stood out for me right here, and we're just going to come a little titrate and just come a little bit into the lightness again, back up, and then we can always move back there. But coming back up to the here and now, and how you are so connected, and you are so present, and you are doing the work every day, every single day, even now, just being in that pain. What you said, the first thing was, the message that came is, once I'm present, it can never be taken away from that. And I want you to stay with that, to go into your body and to feel that, because I can feel, even on Zoom, I can feel when you said that energy, that light that you carry, your spirit, your soul, you're so present to that. So feel that in every part of your being right now, because you got that. It's always there. Nice deep in breaths and out breaths, and just relax. Let your shoulders fall. Let all the muscles, just let it soften in that chair. Let that chair support you with all her love, and feel that. And you know what I've noticed? When you were activated, those two eyebrows were almost together in tension. Now it's like, oh, there they are again, those beautiful eyebrows, where they supposed to be. So that's so beautiful. But oh my goodness, it was like that together. So that's beautiful. How does that feel to be back in that beauty of and that sweetness of knowing you present?
I think that's like immense amount of gratitude, because sometimes they need like affirmation, or like someone else's opinion. And I know that that stems from the trauma and the PTSD. Those silly messages we get that I'm not enough, I'm not doing enough, and then I'll do too much and burn myself out. But it's like knowing when I sit in my embodiment that I know that my motives, and I know how much I try and I do it in the right way today, right? And it's not sideways anymore. And that's so beautiful, when you know these things, you know them, that can't be taken away. And I think that's the biggest message I really needed to hear, because being disconnected from myself, and maybe it was just to be safe, it doesn't matter why.
Your body was protecting you. Our bodies, they stand guard for us no matter what. They'll do anything, whatever it is that they need to do, to keep us safe. That reptilian brain, that amygdala, that hippocampus, they come on when we say, I'm here. They right here, and that's what I know about you. That's what you do. That's a beautiful, beautiful part of how I have observed and how I'm observing, your beautiful healing, that presence. And, just to when it's there, like as it is there right now, and I know you do, just to really to celebrate that, because for you, when you have to go and, like I say, go back and fetch and go and do another piece of the painful stuff, like a warrior, you kind of ready, to go in there. So I'm just curious now. So so all of that happened, and that was the night where you actually said that to him. So do you want to go a little bit deeper there now?
Yeah, so what I realized, because I kept avoiding talking to him and telling him my truth, because I didn't want to hurt him. And I just knew I kept hurting myself more and more and more and more. And that yoga session really taught me that I can avoid it forever. And that if I don't just do it, no matter what the blockage or whatever, that I was going to be fine. And like, so I had a lot of frustration, which can go to anger easily, right? And I think like right after the yoga session, I just took a really deep breath. I was able to center myself really easily. And I put the kids to bed and I went outside on the deck, and I brought him back. And I was able to do it in such a gentle, loving way that I was so grateful for that, because you know, because of the frustration, it was out of fear that I would do it the wrong way. But I remember you telling me that, you know, when I connect with myself and the message is with the right motives, that it will come out. So I trusted that and that I needed to do it. So I sat outside and I brought him back to the beginning of our relationship where he thought it was fear-based that we weren't meant to be together. He felt like our spirits weren't meant for each other, and so he thought that that was fear because of his own trauma, and I kind of believed him, right? And yeah, there's a little bit of shame because I'm like, oh, I should have known, but you know, that's silly because people are brought into our lives for times and places and sometimes, you know, moments. And so I believe we were meant to walk through this time together and this healing together because we both have grown immensely, even though, you know, it is really sad. So I brought him back to that feeling. And when he explained it the first time, it was like a wave, right? It's like our spirits when the waves hit don't meet at the same time. And so when I explained that to him, because I saw it, right? And I brought him back there and he, because of his PTSD and trauma, he just instantly went into panic mode, you know? And I worked really hard to reassure him, tell him my truth, that this is what I need is to honor my spirit.
Oh,
And that if I physically in the physical world was able to be with you, I would in a heartbeat because I love you. And love is unconditional and it's fluid, you know. And if I was able to walk with you, I would. And I've tried and I've tried and I've tried. And I just immensely hurt myself. And I
oh,
have to honor my spirit. And by honoring my spirit means I have to walk through this pain,
mhm.
which means putting him through that as well too, right?
What was that like for you to see his pain and his hurt when you spoke your truth?
Part of me was relieved, part of me was grateful that I was able to be vulnerable with him because I have had a hard time with that. Um, but immensely sad because like I can't fix it. I can't save him from the pain. And I
No,
would, if I could take it, I would, you know, but
what's
that wasn't my gift.
what's happening right now in your body? I want you to go there because this is about separation. And just be with that and honor that. Be present to it. Right. Just allow it to come, to discharge. That's right. You know I'm here for you. And I love you. And it takes time to really work through something like this. And so it's okay. Just let it out. Just let it out. Yeah. He's a good man. He's a kind man. He's a gentle soul. And remember, he's strong enough maybe not right at the moment, but he's strong enough to carry what he needs to carry. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time, but what is important, like you said, Amanda, is for you to honor yourself. You know your truth. You know your truth.
I think that's what I really needed to hear, is that he is strong enough and that he will work through it.
He'll work through it just as you're working through it. And that's one of the things that we do as hurt people and traumatized people, because we know what it's like. You know what it's like to feel the depth of pain and hurt. So we feel it much more when we see somebody else in that pain, because we know what it feels like. In other words, our empathy is upped quite a bit.
Yeah.
And particularly in your situation where you have come so far in your own healing journey, and where you're at. But he will, and he will not maybe right at this moment, but later on, he will honor that you did what you did, because he already knew it too. He already said it. And he had that wisdom. And there's a beautiful friendship there that can be cultivated when both of you move into a better place and space.
I think that's one of the reasons why I avoided it so much, because when I'm able to just be friends with him, and that pressure of a relationship isn't there, his loyalty is immense, right? And I never really had that loyalty from someone, right? Or especially the opposite sex.
Right. But I think you're also aware of what has happened in the process, in the whole process, right? My philosophy, there's no mistakes in life, only lessons. So if you really look deeply, all of us, if we look deeply into it, and I can see it so clearly, is that there's so many layers of teachings in there for you. One. Two, a lot of the pieces of the work that you had to do, maybe in other relationships that you haven't worked through, also was worked through in this time, in this year and a half, with him. How does that feel? Does that resonate with you? That, yes, there were other times where I could have worked through this, where I could have moved in this direction, but I didn't?
I think the acknowledgement, like, I really understand what you're saying, that certain things for me could never have been worked on unless I was in an actual intimate relationship. And I believe then it kind of had to be him, because as much as I say I didn't feel that safety, I think in a sense it was in order for me to experience these gifts, right? They don't feel like gifts at the moment.
No, they don't. Not when we're hurting. But I have to tell you that when we go through difficult situations, as it has been for you for months in the situation that you're in, it is actually the time that we dig the deepest, that we go the deepest into our being. And the deeper we go into our being, and I'm talking about at spiritual soul level, that's when the what is the word, the correctional experience emerges, the experience that you needed to have. Why? So that you can understand yourself better, and that you can find that connection, that way back. And out, the way back into the healing is actually a way back to ourselves first. But you're absolutely right too, with regards to whenever I was working through something, it has to be through a relational experience. And you probably, as a clinician, you understand that because of the relationship with your mom, that whole notion of the bonding and attachment that went haywire there. So obviously, does it make total sense for you that that's where you went to figure stuff out?
Yeah, for sure.
How are you feeling right now?
I think it's just like a little bit of sadness. Whenever since Chad passed away, whenever I go to that pain that you feel it right in your stomach, where your stomach aches, it brings me back to, when he died. So it's like being triggered of that loss, right? So it doesn't matter whatever the situation or the lesson that I'm working through, it instantly brings that back as well, right? So it's sadness, and I miss Chad so much.
Of course you do. You see him every day in those two boys, right?
And that might be the connection as well, because Ryan gets to experience what Chad can't, when it comes to our sons. He gets to do all the physical stuff with our sons that Chad was never able to experience and can't experience, right? Physically, anyways.
But at a spiritual level, yes. Not at a physical level, not at the level that we understand, but at the level that they understand. He might be playing with, with those boys, and we don't know, but that's probably still something. That some of those things will probably merge a little bit more, not right now, but later on. I know that you said how much Ryan cares about them, so I get that. I totally get that. But yes, you're absolutely right. The reconnection with the pain of grief and loss and the sadness. And you're still working through it. It takes as long as it takes, Amanda. That whole notion of that sadness. And that's okay. That's your spirit, that's your soul. Just honor even that sadness. I'm here for you. I see you. Sadness, I'm with you, because she's helping you, guiding you through that whole grief process. So just to be with that, we can both be with that together, with that sense of sadness, because in that sadness there's also a lot of strength.
Mm.
Our joy is our sorrow unmasked. And that's okay. How are you feeling right now in your body?
Just sadness, and like I feel the honor in it too, though. And there is relief that I know my grief's not the same. My grief is definitely not the same. It's been an immense healing process without regards. And I know that when I do the work, especially in the area of grief, that there's really beautiful gifts. I know that.
Mm,
But the number one thing I always think of is, as beautiful as the gifts are, that I would give them back in a heartbeat just to have them back, and not even as my partner. It's
mm,
just, grieving that loss for my children. That's the one thing I can't fix. And as parents,
right,
we don't want our children to have to go through pain.
right, right.
And I can't fix that.
No, you can.
Only honor who he was with
Yes.
our boys. And it's so powerless. But it's okay at the same time.
Your boys are so beautiful. That Malachi, he is just a bundle of love, and he can see love. And on Zoom, the other night, he can see it and feel it and touch it. And Amanda, that's you. That's you. That's who you are, with all that you've been going through and your grief, and that what you are giving, to those little ones, and to the others. It's just phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. And all the beautiful things that I see in all of your children, I know where it's coming from. It's you. It's you. It's their mom. It's your love shining through them. And that is just absolutely beautiful, just absolutely beautiful. And sometimes, Amanda, we don't know why things happen the way they do. But as the time goes on, it is, in a strange way, it is really revealed to us. And I'm so sorry that, that happened to you, and that you had to go through that, the depth of that loss that you experience. But, over the years, just watching you and seeing you grow amidst the pain, and that, it just gives so much hope and light to the world. When you were running the Seeking Safety Sharing Circles in person at the Friendship Center, I bumped into several of the women that were attending the circles. And what they told me was basically is that, yes, it is the seeking safety and all of that, but it is Amanda. Like, she's lifting it up, she's holding it up. It was always about, oh, beautiful Amanda. Yes, I'm doing it with Amanda. And the gifts that you are bringing, to the world. And I know that because of your pain and the depth of your pain, that the gifts that you bring it with that pureness and that beauty of understanding. And I think that is so beautiful. And, when we give, we heal. And you are for sure a giver. So I think we've kind of gone through 2 dips here, and I think we at a nice level here. So I think we'll probably just kind of stay at this level a little bit. And that was a lot of work you did today. Enough, for a session, and you might feel, a little bit relieved or still a little bit sad, but I know you know what to do and really how to honor that.
Yeah.
And just drink lots of water, wash through, and be kind and gentle to yourself. And of course, more than anything else, anybody else that I know, about the safety and the self-care, the safety and the self-care. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you for being a part of my healing process, personally and professionally.
What an honor. What an honor. I'm just wondering if there's anything that you would like to tell the participants of, going through a pendulation session. And if you want, you don't really have to, but if you want, you could do that.
I think the biggest thing I wanted to acknowledge was, how we talk about how I am professionally and the healing work that I do. And even when I come and I share that, I just shared a part of my healing process. And, in order to give those gifts, I have to honor who I am in my spirit. Right. And I really needed to emphasize, ending that relationship was so that I could honor who I am in my spirit and to honor what she needs, because I wasn't able to continue the work that I do in this way by being with him. Yeah.
Well, that's beautiful. That's really beautiful.
And I can't do this work unless I'm able to walk with my spirit and be humble. Humility is an amazing gift I've learned in these past 7 years that I've been walking this way and in recovery and, working with our people. That humility is the biggest gift. And I had to bring that back into my life. And that's what I chose. And instead of a partner, and for the longest time, it was always about a partner, always about someone completing me. And today it's not about that. It's about being with my spirit so I can honor and give my gifts.
Being with yourself and being you.
Even if it means pain.
Doesn't matter, even if it means pain.
Yeah, because it's only temporary.
Yeah, because the thing is this, once you're whole and once you're ready, you don't have to go out and look for it. This is what the wise man told me once. Love will find you. And it will find you when you're whole and when you're ready. And we know what happens when we're still broken. We also attract brokenness. And so that's the beautiful part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Able to be with ourselves, to do that work, and to know whether a partner comes or not, we're still whole,
Mm-hmm.
we're still happy, and we still completed.
Oh, yes. It's an amazing gift that no one can give us, right? We just have to do the work to come back to ourselves. And when you feel that, like I said, that can never be taken away. Once you know, you know.
That's the most beautiful teaching that you gave right at the beginning. For all of us as helpers and healers, once you reconnect with your embodiment, your spirit and your soul, as painful as it is, one thing you learn there is that once you've arrived, it will always be there. Mm-hmm. Through the midst of what happens in life, it will always be there, and you know exactly where to land when you need it. That's the one gift that you gave us. The second beautiful gift that you gave us is that I have to honor my spirit, my Sat, and that spirit is your truth. Sat Nam, truth is your identity, nothing else. Truth is your identity.
I didn't even introduce her, my spirit's rising thunder woman. So yeah, I appreciate hearing that and honoring that.
The third gift that you gave us today is the gift of humility. Let's just find her. Because she's the wolf. Humility. She's the wolf. So humility is being humble, not arrogant. The wolf represents humility because of his giving nature and the devotion to protecting and working for the good of the wolf family and the welfare of her pack. That's you. Wolves mate for life and are generous and loving parents, setting an example of what our communities and family systems should be. And we as Indigenous peoples, we have great respect for the wolf because of her love for the family and her protective instincts.
It's beautiful. And if I was to ever sum up humility, that would be it, right? I felt that to my core. And that also resonated with what my son Odin brings too. Odin's the wolf and the humility. And I never made the connection until now. And Malachi is, I don't know if your card's under love. Does it represent the bear?
Malachi, I already saw that. Not last Thursday, the first time he came on and he said to me, Teresa, I love you. I already knew that this was him, the eagle.
Wow. Yeah, no, he definitely has love. He carries the bear too, and he's Southwind boy, which brings the red in that. Oh, that's definitely him and the gifts he was meant to bring. And Odin was the north, the humility, the blue, and the wolf.
There you go.
Yeah, I never made those full connections until now. It's beautiful.
You see how
healing does come gifts.
You see how the gifts just come with our healing. It's just incredible. It's incredible, you know, and it's humbling. Back to humility. I always say that when something happens and where we are right now and how things just come together, I'm just humbled by it all. So anyway, Amanda, again, thank you so Chimikwich, my friend, so very much. And I know it's going to help so many people, this video, because we don't know how long we still have to do our things on Zoom. But but now people can see, you know, it's okay. We can do it.
Yeah.
Right?
We don't have to fear it.
Yeah. Okay. So Chimikwich, we'll talk soon.
Yes.